Let's talk about one of the most fundamental, and let's be honest, one of the most frequently misunderstood concepts in all of software development: Git branching. Seriously, if you get this wrong, your entire delivery pipeline can just grind to a halt. So today, we're going to clear it all up for good. Okay, picture this. You're in a job interview. The hiring manager leans forward and asks you that exact question. What is your branching strategy? What do you say? For a lot of people, the answer that comes out sounds, well, something like this. You hear that? I mean, it sounds pretty reasonable on the surface, right? It's got all the right buzzwords: developers, QA, approvals, different environments. It sounds like a totally professional workflow. But there is a huge problem here.
That answer, it doesn't describe a branching strategy. Not at all. It describes a deployment process. And confusing those two things is an absolutely critical mistake that holds so many teams back.
So, what is the actual difference? This is the core confusion we really need to unravel. And trust me, getting this distinction right is going to fundamentally change how you think about your entire workflow.
Okay, let's break this down. On the left, we've got branching strategy. This is all about how you organize your code inside the repository. We're talking naming conventions for branches, rules for merging. It's the internal logic. Then on the right, you've got the deployment process. This is everything that happens after that, how you take that organized code and actually move it through different environments.
The easiest way to think about this is with an analogy. Your branching strategy is like organizing the blueprints for a huge skyscraper. It's the plan. It's how you manage all the different versions of that plan. The original draft, the architect's changes, the electrician's updates. It's all about the design phase, before a single shovel hits the dirt.
So if the strategy is the blueprint, then the deployment process is the act of actually building the skyscraper. It's pouring the foundation, raising the walls, putting on the roof. It's the physical construction that follows the plan you so carefully laid out.
So you see, the crucial point is that one enables the other. You can't just start building a skyscraper without well-organized, coherent blueprints. It would be chaos. In the same way, your branching strategy is the blueprint that enables a smooth, predictable deployment process.
All right, now that we've cleared that up, let's look at the actual tools in your toolkit, the common branching strategies you can actually use. And spoiler alert, there is no single best way. It's all about picking the right tool for the job you're trying to do.
First up is GitHub Flow. This is probably one of the most popular and straightforward models out there. Its entire philosophy is built around two things: simplicity and speed, which makes it a huge favorite for a lot of modern teams.
So the idea here is super simple. You have one primary main branch, and that's your source of truth. All new work happens in these little, short-lived feature branches that get merged right back into main as soon as they're ready. This is absolutely perfect for teams that are deploying to production multiple times a day.
Okay, now let's swing to the complete other end of the spectrum and talk about Git Flow. If GitHub Flow is all about simplicity, Git Flow is all about structure, process, and control. You can tell just by looking at how many more branches it has. Git Flow uses multiple long-living branches. You've got main for what's in production, and a develop branch for integration, plus branches for features, releases, and hotfixes. This model is really built for projects with scheduled, versioned releases. Think mobile apps or big enterprise software. But all that structure can be total overkill for smaller, faster-moving projects.
Next, we have a model that might surprise you with just how simple it is, but honestly, it is an absolute powerhouse: trunk-based development. This is the secret weapon that many of the world's highest-performing teams use to achieve incredible speed.
So here, almost everyone works directly on a single branch, the trunk. It sounds kind of crazy, but it minimizes merge conflicts and maximizes the speed of feedback. And get this, according to the State of DevOps report, something like 85% of elite, high-performing teams use this model. The catch is, it relies heavily on really robust automation and something called feature flags, which are basically on-off switches for new code to work safely. Now, GitLab Flow offers a really pragmatic middle ground. What's cool about it is that it ties your branching model directly to your deployment environments. The code is literally promoted from a development branch to a staging branch, and then finally to a production branch. It flows upstream through your environments. This gives you a super clear, logical map of what code is deployed where. It's a fantastic balance of structure and simplicity. And finally, let's look at release branching. This is a neat little hybrid approach that gives you a really smart way to stabilize your releases without having to stop all progress on new features. Here's how it works. Your main branch is where all the new feature development is happening, business as usual. But when you're getting ready for a release, you create a special release branch from main. This gives you a stable, isolated place to fix bugs just for that release, all without stopping the new work happening back on main. Pretty clever.
So we've got 5 solid options. How in the world do you choose? Well, it all comes down to your team's context, what kind of product you're building, how often you release, and what your team's culture is like. Now, this slide right here is gold because it just lays everything out so you can see the trade-offs at a glance. If your release cadence is continuous, you're probably looking at GitHub Flow or trunk-based. If it's more scheduled and you need that structure, Git Flow is a really strong contender. Seriously, take a moment and look at this table. Try to find your team's context. This is your cheat sheet for choosing a right strategy.
Okay, let's bring it all home. Why did we spend all this time separating the blueprints from the actual building process? Well, because getting this one distinction right fundamentally changes how your team works for the better.
This right here is the key takeaway. A clean, well-chosen branching strategy makes your deployment process smooth, fast, and predictable. A messy or misunderstood strategy creates bottlenecks, endless merge conflicts, and that awful release day anxiety. Your strategy is the foundation that everything else is built on.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to take back to your team. Look at how you organize your code before it ever even hits a server. Is that plan, your strategy, is it acting as an accelerator or is it a bottleneck? Answering that question honestly is the very first step to building better software faster.